with any questions you guys might have. You can send it in. So question 15, let's take a look. What is the ratio of the total sales of B and C during the years two to year four, both years included? So this question, question number, like pretty much questions 12 to 16, I don't think it was that hard. The hardest part was actually just doing all the simple addition, subtraction, and divisions and stuff like that. But other than that, it was fairly straightforward.
Excuse me.
Um,
Wait, Melvin, I can't see the screen.
Yes,
Yeah,
same.
oh, okay. I think I
I
know
can't see
why.
the screen.
Me
Yeah,
too.
now you should be able to see it.
Same with me.
Yeah, it should work now. I think the main reason is I put this thing on focus mode, and focus mode will only focus on me, the host, and that's why it didn't show the screen out. Okay, so as I was saying, questions 12 to 16, you wouldn't be able to see it. Sorry, you should be able to, sorry, questions 12 to 16 was fairly straightforward. So, it was just simple addition, subtraction, division, stuff like that. So it's fairly straightforward. Let's get started. So question 15, what was the ratio of the total sales of stores B to C during the period years 2 to year 4, both years included? So what does that mean? You look at this, the store sales. So store B in years 2, 3, and 4 is equal to 6,900. Store C is in years 2, 3, and 4 is 4,200. When you put them out as a ratio, you get 6,900 to 4,200. When you simplify it by taking away the two zeros, you get 69 and 42, and you get 23 and 14. Do you guys understand? Do you understand, Harsh?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Melvin.
Could you please send the term for practice sheet answers to the group chat? Yes. We'll be sending that as soon as that's. So Sriram Salvaraj, Deepinder Singh, Aryan, May, Mayanak. Could you guys all stay muted? Dashwant, could you stay muted, please? Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, guys. All right. So, Kapish, I'll be sending the answers to the practice sheet very soon. Just finalizing the answer key for that. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, all good. All right, Yug, question number 3. Let's take a look. Okay. So Krisha is going to make 3 shelves for her father. She has a piece of lumber 11 meters long. She wants the top shelf, excuse me, to be half a meter shorter than the middle shelf, and the bottom shelf to be half a meter shorter than twice the length of the middle shelf. So how do you solve this? There is this set of working out. So let's take a look how this works. Before I even do this, actually, let me show it to you. And this is really nice. Would you guys like to take a screenshot of the set of notes? This is very nice. If you guys want.
Could you scroll for all the other notes that you have so we can take screenshots for those as well?
Of course. Here you go. Here's 1 to 11. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For this one, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then finally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got it? By the way, none of you should have got question 2. So question 2 was taken out for you guys. It was just in the old version number 1 that we had. Okay. So let me explain this to you in my version. The other version is there, but I'll take some time to quickly explain it again in a slightly different version. less beautiful, of course, than the other version. So you have three shelves. You have the top shelf. Oops. You have the top shelf, you have the middle shelf, and you have the bottom shelf. Now, this is what it kind of should look like, because we know that the top shelf, remember, it was the middle shelf. Top shelf was the question said it was the middle shelf minus half a meter. Do you guys remember that? And then the bottom shelf, it said it was 2 times as big as the middle shelf minus half a meter. Got it? So because of that, this is, the shelf kind of looks like this. Now, I'm going to actually, I won't rub it out for you guys. And then finally, we know that the top shelf, the middle shelf, and the bottom shelf, when you add them together, top plus middle plus bottom, when you add them all together, we get 11 meters. Now, rewrite that. And rewrite it as top plus middle plus bottom. Now, in the question, it says that the top is the same as the middle shelf minus 0.5. It also says that the bottom is 2 times the middle shelf minus 0.5. And now we just need to figure out what the middle shelf is. So how do we do it? Well, we take away these two variables. We take away the t and we take away the m. And I'll show you how we do it. So t, we already know that t, all right, 1 second. So Ayan, Chanel, please stay muted. Thank you. And Zia, please stay muted as well. Same as you, Advit Nambiar. Okay. Mute you both. All right, awesome. Okay, so cool. So T, we already know that T is, let me use a different color. Okay, so we already know that T is m minus 0.5. So how do we rewrite it? Okay, so we can write T, instead of having just T here, we'll rewrite it as m minus 0.5. And then we have this plus m, so we bring that down. And then we have this plus b. Well, b, we know is 2m minus 0.5. So it is 2m minus 0.5. And the 11, when we bring it down, it is equal to 11. And the b is equal to this. Do you understand this, Yug?
Yeah.
Yeah, so far all good?
Yeah.
Awesome. From there, it's as simple as just solving the algebra thing as we mentioned. So Yug, what is 1m plus 2m plus 2m? So sorry, m plus 2m.
4m.
Good man, 4m. And what's negative half minus half? So imagine you owe me 50 cents. So you owe me 50 cents, and then you borrow another 50 cents from me. How much do you owe me now?
1 whole.
Yeah, you owe me $1, right?
Yeah.
And then 11. So now we have 4m is minus 1 is equal to 11. Remember, bring the number to the other side. Numbers on one side, letters on the other side. We have 4m is equal to 11 plus 1. 4m is equal to 12. Now 4m is the same as 4 multiplied by m equal to 12. So when I bring the 4 across to the other side, it becomes m equals to 12 divided by 4. M is equal to 3. Any questions for me, you?
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me.
Yes, Danva?
For question number 3, can't you use process of elimination?
You can, but then that like so that's there's a difference between a strategy versus like learning how to do something. So to give you an example, when you're painting a house, right? You can do it 2 ways. Option 1 to paint a house is you take a paintbrush and then you paint it 1 wall at a time. Option 2 is you take a paintbrush and then you paint 1 spot in 1 wall, and then you go to another spot, and then you paint another on a different wall, and you paint again, and you paint again, and you paint again, and you paint again. Both ways, we still get the answer right. Sometimes it's good to follow the random approach where we just point one side and then you point another side and you paint another side and you paint another side, right? But when you follow that approach, you're not following or you're learning how to do the question properly. So in this question, you can use that method. You can check the answers and see if it makes sense. But as a teacher, I want to teach you how to do the questions. So there's some questions where I'll show you, maybe not in this booklet, in this week's homework, but there's other weeks where there will be questions where it makes sense to simply just sub in the answers and you'll be able to solve it faster. But in this question, I prefer you not to do that. All good?
Okay.
Okay, so someone asked me what pages are for homework. So next week is week 4. So everything that's called week 4, it's for homework. So you have all of reading comprehension. So King Tutankhamun, you have public perception of government spending, and then you have, is it just those two? Think so? Oh, and then where does your text always go? Actually, yeah, just those two texts you have, for homework. And then abstract reasoning, you have these questions. So all of week 4. So everything until you get to week 5. Everything before week 5 is for homework. Do you understand, Melina? Melina? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Question number 8. Let's take a look. Okay. Hannah left home and drove for 3 hours. She stopped for lunch and then drove for another 2 hours at a rate that is 10 kilometers slower than the rate before she had at lunch. If the total distance Hannah traveled is 230 kilometers, what was the rate before lunch? So let's take a look. With this question, you have this method here. Did the teacher draw it here? No. But yes, so for the people, if you want it, you can take a screenshot of this because I'm going to rub it out and then I'm actually going to open it on a new page. So if you want a screenshot, you can take a screenshot now.
Could you give me a minute to write this down?
Okay. Didn't you write this down in class?
I think so there's a different example in class.
Sorry.
I think so there's a different example in class.
What do you mean?
What I mean is a different method.
What was a different method in class?
The writing was a bit different, but okay.
All right. So I'm going to open this as a copy and I'm going to draw it here. So Hannah left home and she drove for 3 hours. So she drove for 3 hours. She stopped for lunch and then drove for another 2 hours. Another 2 hours. At a rate that is 10 kilometers slower than the rate before she had lunch. Than the rate before she had lunch. If the total distance she traveled is 230 kilometers, what was the rate before lunch? Okay, so would you guys agree that distance is speed multiplied by time?
No.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Did someone say no? Okay,
Not me. Not me too.
awesome.
No.
No worries. Lenovo TB350FU, could you make sure you have your real name? Otherwise, we'll be removing you from the call. Let's see if there's any other fake names. No, that's all good. Everything's all good. Okay, so you guys all agree that distance is speed multiplied by time. So now from there, would you agree the distance she traveled in the first half, so before lunch, the distance she traveled, would you agree that it is the speed she was traveling at multiplied by 3 hours? So to explain that again, actually, I use this one. Bring it to 3. Would you guys agree that the distance she traveled is 3 multiplied by the speed she was traveling at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
And then after lunch, would you agree that the distance she traveled was the first speed minus 10 multiplied by 2 hours?
Yes.
Yeah? And then would you agree
Yep.
that these two distances, the distance before lunch and the distance after lunch, when you add them together, you get 230? Yeah?
Mhm.
Awesome. So now, again, it's back to simple algebra. It's us solving it. So 3 multiplied by s, we know that is 3s. And s minus 10 as a brackets multiplied by 2, you multiply 2 by both of the things in the bracket. So 2 times s is 2s. 2 multiplied by negative 10 is negative 20. Again, to understand that, you owe me $10, and then you owe Patra $10. So in total, you owe negative $20. So 2 multiplied by $10. Do you understand? And that is equal to 230. So 3s plus 2s is 5s, and negative 20 is equal to 230. Bring the negative 20 to the other side, and you have 5s is equal to 230 plus 20, and then this is 5s is equal to 250, and then 5s, remember, is the same as 5 multiplied by s is equal to 250. So s is equal to 250 divided by 5, and 250 divided by 5 is equal to 50. So the speed before lunch was 50 kilometers per hour, and the speed after lunch was 40 kilometers per hour. Do you understand that, Kapish?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions about this question? No? Awesome. So, question
I
7.
didn't understand.
Mhm.
I didn't understand it from the part where it says 3s plus 2s.
So do you understand how we got this line?
Yes.
You do, right?
Yeah.
So from here to here, which thing doesn't make sense to you? Do you know where we got 5s from?
Like the 3s plus 2s.
And then do you know where negative 20 is, right?
Oh, I thought that was a minus 20. Okay. Yep.
Okay. All right. That's all good. What else do we have? Anyone else have any other questions?
Excuse me.
You're excused.
No, but could you go over question 15 again? Because I still don't really get it.
Again, let's take a look. Which part do you not get, ma'am?
You're glitching.
Which part do you not get?
Like, I don't really get any of it.
So do you not know where we got 6,900 from?
No, I know where we got that one from.
And then do you know where we got this from?
Yes.
And basically what we did here is that the question's asking what is the ratio between them two. So you just put them next to each other, 6,900 to 4,200, and then you simplify. So you divide both sides by 100. So 6,900 divided by 100 is 69, and 4,200 divided by 100 is 42. And then 69 and 42, what goes into both of them? 3 goes into both of them. So 69 divided by 3 is 23, and 42 divided by 3 is 14. And that is why it's 23 and 14. What do you think?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
If I were to ask you to explain it to me, can you explain it to me?
Yeah.
Okay, good girl. If you have any questions, ask me again, okay?
Mhm.
All right.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Can you explain question 13 and 14 later?
Yes, but you have to send those like questions in the chat.
Yeah.
All
Wait,
right.
I
So
have a
next,
doubt on question 5. Still don't get it.
let's take a look. We haven't done question 5.
Oh, okay.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
So Deepinder, question number 17 to 19. Let's take a look. By the way, question 17 to 19 is by far one of my favorite questions so far that you guys have gotten in 1 second. Yeah, so Kashika and Theo, could you guys stay muted, please, guys? Thank you. All right. So, and Yuvraj as well, and Aryan as well, please. Aryan,
I'm
Yuvraj.
confused on 17.
Yes,
Question
Kavin.
four.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going through it now, Kavin. I haven't started it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was just telling the students to stay muted. Okay. So the reason question 17, 18, and 19 is so far one of my favorite questions so that you guys have gone on Gate so far is because these questions, like these types of, interpretation questions where you have to figure things out by looking at the chart are very similar to the thinking required to solve this is very similar, or what's most similar to your actual Gate exam. And going forward, you'll see a lot more of these. So you started seeing questions like this, like you started seeing a lot of these table-based questions before already. And then I believe, is this the first maths that you guys have done? Okay, it is the first maths. But then, yeah, so you'll start to see it in future maths questions. So let's take a look at the next week's homework. Oh, next week's the week after. Yeah, so as you can see, we'll start to get a lot more of these puzzle type of questions into the future. And then more of these types. And again, it's just because Loyola is constantly updating our questions to get closer and closer to the actual Gate test. And these questions are by far like the thinking required to solve them is what's going to help you the most in the Gate exam. So I'm very excited for you guys to try out these questions.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Do you use I saw on the sample test on the Gifted and Talented website that it looks exactly the same as the abstract reasoning as the ones in Loyola.
I mean, that's pretty much our job, right? We
Yeah,
have to make questions that are similar to the actual test. So that's
yeah.
why I made them like that.
I got to do that very fast.
Good. Okay, so let's take a look at question 17 to 19. So in 2 rugs, the Floral Garden and the Geometric Beauty, scientific evidence shows that the red dye used in both rugs contain alum, potassium aluminum sulfate used in that the red dye used in Floral Garden also contained calcium and oxalate, and the red dye used in Geometric Beauty did not contain calcium or oxalate. Now Alex set up an experiment to test the presence of any one of alum, oxalate, or calcium, or some combination of them in the red dye causes matter pigment to fade in the presence of light. He prepared 8 samples as shown in the figure. Each sample was artificially aged under ultraviolet light, which accelerates the aging process. So let's see. Which of the samples most likely corresponds to the red dye used in the Floral Garden and Geometric Beauty? The left one being Floral Garden and the right one being Geometric Beauty. So let's actually just write it down. Floral Garden and Geometric Beauty. So Floral Garden, what's in both in Floral Garden? Floral Garden has alum, as the question says. It has alum. It has calcium and oxalate. Calcium, and it has oxalate. Geometric Beauty does not contain calcium or oxalate, but it does contain alum. So Floral Garden, when we look at this chart, red dye contains matter pigment. Does it have alum? Yes. Does it have oxalate? Yes. Does it have calcium? Yes. So Floral Garden is 19. Do you understand, Deepinder? Deepinder,
Yes.
do you understand that?
Yes.
And then Geometric Beauty, what's the only thing that Geometric Beauty has, Deepinder?
Alum.
So this is a yes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Does it have oxalate or in Geometric Beauty?
No.
No. Does it have calcium?
No.
So the answer is IV. You understand?
Oh, yeah, now I get it.
Okay. All good? All right. So next we have, one second, right? One of the parents is calling me during Zoom class. Right. I've just told them I'm calling back later.
How
Okay.
do you know that there's no oxalate or no calcium in the Geometric Beauty?
I'll give you a hint. It's the first step we do when we do these questions. And it's in yellow. I'll give you another hint. Do you get it?
Yeah.
There you go. So that's how we know.
Melvin,
Mm-hmm.
how do you know which one is Floral Garden, which one is Geometric Beauty in the table?
Well, that's essentially what we did in the question. We know that Floral Garden has to have alum, calcium, and oxalate. So which one? So for which one of these samples has all three? There's only one that has all three. And the one that is all three, yes, is I. And then Geometric Beauty only has yes to alum and no to both. And that's why it's IV.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Melvin.
Yes, Naveen.
What? I'm just wondering, is the floral garden and the Geometric Beauty actual drugs?
No idea. I have no idea.
They
Okay.
probably are.
All right, next question. Question number 18. Did it follow through? Oh, there you go. If samples 1 and 5, if only samples 1 and 5 fade, the presence of which of the following most likely causes fading? So only 1 and 5 faded. Now, what do they both have in common? So one has calcium in it. Okay, so does calcium cause fading? So sample I had calcium. So, sorry, it's calcium sample 3, but did sample 3 fade? No. So calcium doesn't always cause fading. Same as sample, which one is it? Sample 7. Sample 7 also had calcium, but this did not fade. So calcium alone does not cause fading. Sample I also has oxalate, but so does calcium, sorry, there's sample V. And is that it? Sorry, sample II and sample I and sample V and sample VI, all four of these had oxalate. All four of them had oxalate, but only 2 of them faded. So again, oxalate alone does not cause fading. What's interesting about II and V is that they had both. They had both. I'll use this. They had both oxalate and calcium. They both had oxalate and calcium. And they're the only ones that had both oxalate and calcium, and they're the ones that faded. The answer has to be calcium and oxalate. You need to have calcium and oxalate for it to fade. And finally, question 19. Based on the condition of the red dye in the textile's Floral Garden and the Geometric Beauty, which of the samples will fade? Just samples I and V. Because again, we know that only samples I and V have faded. All good, Deepinder?
Yes.
All right. Can you do question 11? Let's take a look. Okay, question 11, again, it's a question that it tricked me for a while, but it's actually not a hard question. It's only hard if you think too much into it. So basically what it's saying is, whenever you see a box, a square, you take the left number, you add it to the right number. So you take the left number, you add it to the right number, and then, sorry. So VK18, if you don't change your name to your real name, we're kicking you out. So VK18. VK, are you there?
Yes,
Hello?
I'm just changing it.
Okay. Who is this? Sorry? VK. Oh, Aditya. Okay. Aditya, yeah, make sure you have your real name, Aditya. All right, and then stay muted as well. So I'll just quickly mute everyone. All right, cool. So as I was explaining before that noise disruption was whenever you see a square, but the question is basically saying whenever you see a square, you take the left number, you add it to the right number, and then you divide by 2, and you multiply by the left number again. So how does it look in this context? So 3 box 7. So you take the left, 3 box 7 becomes 3 plus 7 divided by 2 multiplied by 3. Do you get it? Melina?
Yeah.
So 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Got it?
Yes.
And then we have 9 box 5. That is 9 plus 5 divided by 2 multiplied by 9. So 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. And 7 times 9 is 63. You understand?
Yes.
And finally, we have 15 box 63. And that is 15 plus 63 divided by 2 multiplied by 15. And that is 585. Got it?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Question number 10.
Excuse me, Melvin.
Yes, Deepinder.
Why do you have to do 15 box 63?
Good. So do you see these brackets? When we solve it, we get 15 here, and then we get 63 here. And now that we've solved it, we still have to solve this box. So that's why it's 15 box 63. Do you understand?
Okay.
So now another way to visualize it, Deepinder, is imagine if we have 3 plus 7 plus 9 plus 5. 3 plus 7 is 10. 9 plus 5 is 14.
14.
And then we still have to do 10 plus 14, which is 24. You understand?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
good man. Good man. All right. So next question number 10, Theo. Aryan owns a car shop and advertises all cars are 20% off next week. Since he isn't very honest, he raises the prices this week so that when there are 20% off, they will be at the original price. How much should he raise it this week so that he can reduce the new price by 20% next week and sell his cars at the original price? Now, fun fact, this is what a lot of shops do. So if you go to Kohl's and Woolworth recently, or if you ask your mom and dad about Kohl's and Woolworths recently, you can see that a lot of the things that are on quote unquote, at Woolworths quote unquote specials, actually, if you look behind the label, they're actually cheaper or the same price as before. They're just tricking you guys. Not you guys, but your mom and dad. But basically, the way this works is kind of like this. Now, before I get started, I want to go through a quick concept of percentages. So let me take a look. Food.
What Why is Woolworth allowed to do that anyways?
Oh, so every shop has the right to increase or decrease their prices at any time. There's nothing wrong in doing that.
But they're not allowed. But how are they allowed to say it's on special or on sale?
Ah, yeah, because technically it is. They increase, so they can just say that they increased it and nobody bought it, so they decreased it, and now it's on sale.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, thank you.
So Reese, I need your help with this question, okay? So Reese, imagine if me and you, we go to buy a PS5, okay? And
Mhm.
PS5 is 20% off. 20% off.
Okay.
What percentage do we pay for the PS4? Like what
Wait,
percentage?
sorry, I didn't hear your question. Can you
Yeah.
repeat it?
Of course. So imagine we go to the shop and there's a PS4 for sale, okay?
Yeah.
And then today it's 20% off, okay? 20% discount.
Mhm.
What percentage of the original price did we pay, Reese?
80%.
Good man. So when something is 20% off, it's the same as paying 80%, correct? Yeah. Now imagine the opposite perspective, Reese. Imagine we go to the store and they bought a PS5 and they increased the price by 20% to make a profit, right? They increased it.
Mhm.
What percentage do we pay of the PS4?
We pay the full 100% price.
No. So a store buys a PS4 and they
Yeah.
increase 20%, right? So what percent of the original price do we pay?
120.
Good man, 120. Now, the final step I need from you, Reese, is this. What are these two values as decimal?
So 20% would be, sorry, 80% would be, would it be 0.8?
Good man, it is 0.8. What is
And
100% as a decimal?
1,
And
just
then
whole
what's
1.
120% as a decimal?
1.2.
Good man. All right. Thank you for coming on to our game show. You have won fame and fortune on the Loyola Tutoring YouTube channel. Okay.
Melvin,
Yes.
I don't own a car shop.
Oh, it's not about you. This is Aryan with 2 A's.
Oh.
This is a different Aryan. This Aryan, see, he's got 2 A's in his name.
It's me.
All right. So let's take a look. So what actually happens? So this guy, this Aryan, he starts off, imagine, let's make a random number. His car originally cost him $100. He increased it by a random percentage. So we're going to call it P. Okay. And then afterwards, he decreases it by 20%. So Reese, what percentage do we pay?
So he decreases it by how much?
20%. So what percentage of this new price does he pay?
80%.
Good. So you multiply by 0.8. And
Yeah.
when you do all of this, we end up back again at $100. So to recap, we start at 100, we increased it by P, and then we decreased it to 80%, and now we're back at 100. Do you guys understand? Yeah. So 100 times P is 100P, and 100 multiplied by 0.8 is equal to what? Sangu. What's 80% of 100? I'll give you a clue. Percent means out of 100. So 80% or 80 out of 100 of 100 is what? What's 80% of 100, Sangu?
8/10 of 100.
All right. So Advit, for sending me that message, I am kicking you out of the class. If you have any issues with it, your dad can talk to me and then I'll show him the message you sent. All right, guys, there's just a few rules in my class, right? I want to help you out. I'm very nice to the kids who are polite and good. But for the students who do mess around and do certain things, that is not tolerated in my classroom. Okay. So what's 80% of 100, Sangu? Sangu, are you there? Okay, Reese, what's 80% of 100?
80% of 100 would just be 80.
Good.
Yeah.
80p. So 80p is equal to 100. Now, what's 80p the same as? It is 80 multiplied by p, which is equal to 100, correct? Now, we need to bring 80 to the other side. P is equal to 100 divided by 80. What's 100 divided by 80, Thea? Thea?
8.
No. So another example is, how many times does 8 go into 10?
Once.
Yeah, once, and remainder
2.
2. And if you add a 0, how many times does 8 go into 20?
Twice.
Remainder?
2.
No.
4.
Good man. And then if you add a 0, how many times does 8 go into 40?
5.
5. Good. So 1.25.
Alvin,
Now, 1.25 is the same as what percentage? So remember earlier we said 120% is 1.2, 80% is 0.8, and 100% was equal to 1. So what is 1.25 the same as?
Marvin, can I join at 6 o'clock? Because I
Yes,
just
you can.
joined right now.
Sure. Yeah. What is 1.25 the same as a percentage? Calvin.
125 percentage.
Good man. 125%. 1.25 is the same as 125%. Now, remember in the earlier example when we are talking about the PlayStation, right? So when Reese went to buy the PlayStation, when it decreased by 20%, we paid 80% of the value. When it increased by 20%, we paid 120% of the value. So if it's 125, how much did Aryan with 2 A's increase it by? Aryan, do you want to help us? How much did you increase by?
I increased it by 25%.
Good man, 25%. And the answer is C. Okay. Got it? Okay. Let's see, what other questions do we have?
Melvin,
Yes.
I don't understand the question.
Who is this?
Kashika,
Yeah, which part about the question do you not understand?
like, I don't understand how it goes to 80p, like how the percentage of 25 comes about.
Okay, so do you understand what we did in this first line?
Yes.
Yeah? What
Yeah.
did we do here? What does this first line mean?
The 100 is the price, and the P is the percentage,
Yep.
and then the 0.8 is the 80 percentage. Yep.
But what's the 80%? Where's that from?
Since it's the 20% off, it's 80%
Yeah.
that is there.
And what does P stand for?
The percentage that he raised,
Good girl.
increased.
So That's right. Good girl. So you know it. You know it. So it started off 100. It increased by P. It increased by how much you increased it by. And then we decreased it by 20%. And when you do that, you get back to 100. You understand?
Yep.
Awesome. And then basically, what's 100 multiplied by P?
100p.
Uh-huh. So 100p multiplied by 0.8. And what's 100p multiplied by 0.8?
That would be 100.
Nope.
Oh, 80p.
Girl, good girl. Another example is what's 100p multiplied by 0.5? Now, what's 0.5? 50%
Half. Yeah.
or a half, right? So
Yeah.
what's a half of 100p?
50.
50p. So this 0.8 is the same as 80%. So 80% of 100 is 80p. So we have 80p is equal to 100. And then 80p is the same as 80 multiplied by p. I move the 80 to the other side, and it becomes 100 divided by 80. And 100 divided by 80 is equal
Yeah.
to 1.25.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When we increase something by 20%, we said is 120%, right?
Yes.
Which is 1.2.
Yep.
When we decreased it by 20%, we said it was 80%, which is 0.8. So if you got 125%, what does that tell us? It tells us that it increased it by 25%.
Yeah.
Got it?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Let's see.
Ben,
Yes.
I don't understand how you can have 125% of something.
Aha, interesting. So you can have 125% of something when you increase it. So let me give an example, Kavya. So let's just say this year, Kavya, in your piggy bank, you have $10. Okay. And then next year you save up and you have $15 in your bank account, right?
Okay.
How much did you increase by?
$5.
Which is?
50%.
Yes. So you increased it by 50%, right?
Yeah.
Or in other words, if this is year 1 and this is year 2, in year 2, Kavya has 150% of year 1 piggy bank.
So
Do you
can you
understand?
explain it in the question itself now?
Yes. Good. So basically, in week 0, the car costs $100. Okay. In week 1, he increased it to $125. And in week 2, he decreased it back to $100. So this is an increase of 25%, and this is a decrease of 20%. And basically, you can just say in week 1, car is 125% of week 0. Do you understand?
So it's
Yeah.
Sorry, let Kavya speak.
if it's week 1 that you're talking about, then I don't understand how it would be 125% of week 0.
Because in week 0, it cost $100, and we increased it by 25% to week 1.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
In week 1, yeah.
When it's going from week 1 to week 2, wouldn't it be minus 25%?
No, minus 20%. Now, the reason why that makes sense is because, again, this is something that a lot of people, including like many adults, get confused. So I don't blame you guys. Percentage increase, it's very, very like you need a lot of percentage increase to go up a certain amount, but you only need very little percentage decrease to go down something. So to give an example, this is a crazy example, but do you guys remember hearing about this thing called Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for example,
Yeah.
Bitcoin was this like very like crazy coin online, which would go up in value. So like, for example, in 1 year, it went from $100 and to the end of the year, it went up to $10,000. Okay. This is an increase of 100 or an increase, or so it's an increase of multiplied by 100, or it's an increase of 10,000%. Do you guys understand? Hello?
Yeah.
But the next year, by the way, I want you guys to send me your answers in the chat, okay? Let me see if you guys can figure this out. Let me send that in the chat. So in year one, Bitcoin, Aditya, Deepinder, please stay muted, guys. Come on. How many times have I to ask you, boys? All right. In year one, Bitcoin increased by 10,000%. In year two, Bitcoin decreased only by 100%. And it started off with $100. Okay. So in the chat, tell me what the price of Bitcoin in year three was. Send that in the chat. So it started off with $100. In year one, it increased by 10,000%. Year two, it decreased by 100%. So what is the price of Bitcoin in year three?
Someone started screen sharing.
Oh, who's screen sharing?
It's Melissa, someone.
Okay, Melissa, could you not screen share, please?
What does screen share even do?
Okay, boys, come on. Let's focus. So send me your answer to the question. Okay. Interesting. So Danva, are you there? Danva?
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Is your mom or dad with you?
I think so.
They're sitting next to you?
No.
Oh, okay. So are you in Zoom class alone?
Yeah, most of the time.
Okay. Did you solve that question by yourself?
No. Yeah.
You did?
Yes.
Good man. So Dan was the only one who got it correct. Everyone else fell for the common trap. And I'll tell you what that trap is. A lot of you, actually, not just you guys, but pretty much every other human being in the planet will think, oh, okay, in year one, it increased by, 10,000%. Year two, it decreased by 100%. So what's 10,000 minus 100? Well, 10,000 minus 100 is 9,900. So in year three, it's still
Nathan started screen
Nathan
sharing again.
Screen
Sorry?
sharing.
Who is?
Nathan.
How do you spell his name?
Natin.
All right. Come on, Nathan. What's going on? Nathan. I don't even think that's a real person. That's not a name I've seen in the list. And he's not responding to the question, so I'm gonna
How
kick
do you
him out.
find out someone's screen sharing?
I guess it shows up, but it doesn't show up on me, on my screen.
Same. I'm on PC and it doesn't show up.
Okay.
It
All right.
shows up in most computers and
Okay.
iPads.
So guys, come on, let's focus.
Not in here.
Deep in there, boys, come on. All right. Nanma, Aditya, please stay muted, guys. Okay. So most people, when they look at 100% in 10,000% increase, 100% decrease, they think it's 9,900. The reason it's wrong is because you're forgetting a very simple idea, which is when something decreases by 100%, it means it goes down to Danva.
0.
Exactly. It goes down to a 0. Because percentage is like it's talking about the part of something. So if something goes down by 100%, it goes down the entire amount. So to answer your question, Kavya, he needs to increase by 25%, because when you decrease by 20%, it's a huge drop. So you need to increase by more percent than you decrease to be the same. Do you understand?
Okay, but
Another example, I'll show you again, Kavya,
yeah.
is if you start off with $100 and it halved, it went down 50%, it is now $50. Sorry, it's now $50. For $50 to go back to $100, it needs to increase by 100%. So 100% increase is the same as a 50% decrease. So it has to go up by a higher percentage to be the same as a lower percentage decrease.
Because if it's plusing 100 and 100%, then you just need to double 50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Melvin,
All right. So guys, that was the last question I'm doing because I have to go to my next class. I'm going to end the lesson there.
Could you just quickly do question number 5?
Unfortunately not, because I think I've done 5, or no, I haven't done 5, but I do have to end the class because I have to go to my next class. But I'll see you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Melvin,
bye.
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 Melvin,
Goodbye.
what's the
Yes, Marvin.
Bye. Ciao.
what's the answer?
Yeah, Sunday next week.
What's the
Melvin, there's a fake me in the Zoom. There was a fake me in the Zoom class.
Who
Excuse me,
who is
Melvin.
you?
I'm not sure. He had the same name as my
What's your name?
Ayan, Ayyan. There was
Okay.
a note of me.
All right. So you should have told them me before so that I could.
I messaged to you.
Did you? Okay. I didn't see.
Excuse me, Melvin.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the writing topic for this week?
It's week 3. So you go to the very last page and it's the week 3 topic. All right.
Okay.
See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Excuse me, Melvin.
Yes, Deepinder, last question.
What was the answer to the 10,000 thingy?
It's $0.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you decrease by 100%, you get rid of everything. So it's 0.
Okay.
All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you, Melvin.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Just waiting for you guys to leave so I can start the next class. All right, everyone. Welcome to the call. We'll get started really quickly. Let me just get some water and we'll get started. So if you have any questions you'd like me to go through again from the homework we did, send it in the chat and more than happy to go through those questions. All right, so while you're doing that, I'm just gonna grab some water.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, come on, guys. Let's get started. All right. So, let's see. So Amy, this is Amy Naik. I'm good. We've done it there in the recording. You'll see that we've just done 10, and at the beginning we also did 19. So you can check that out. And then I'll do question 6 now, and then we'll go through the rest of the questions in the chat. Starting with question number 6. Mira wants to get a better score than Tanvi in Pac-Man. If Mira's score is the same as 75% of Tanvi's score, and Tanvi's score is 84,120, how many more points does Mira need to get to beat Tanvi? So let's take a look. So she's already gotten 75% of Tanvi's score, right? So what percentage of Tanvi's score does she need extra to beat it? Keshav. Keshav? If she's already gotten 75%, what percentage does she need to beat Tanvi's score? Isabel, do you know? You're muted, Isabel. Do you want to unmute and tell me?
Excuse me, what?
I think it's 2020. 22,077.
Yeah, sorry, not that. I meant, Isabel, is if Mira's score is 75% of Tanvi's, right? And she needs to beat Tanvi's score, what percentage does she need to get now to win?
100. To be at Tanvi's score,
So
you just gotta get
I'll give you an example. So right now, this is Tanvi's score. We're up to 75%, right? And this part is Mira's score right now. Oops, Mira's score. How much more does she need to win?
25%.
Good job. But if she just gets 25%, she will draw with Tanvi. So she needs to get 25% plus 1 more point. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So let's find 25% of 84,120. So 25% is the same as 0.25 or 1/4. And for this question, I want to choose fractions. So 1/4 of 84,120 is the same as 1/4 multiplied by 84,120 over 1, obviously. So 1 times 84,120 is 84,120, and 4 times 1 is 4. Now, 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 8 how many times? Yeah.
What did you say?
How many times does 4 go into 8? 4 goes into 8 2 times, right?
Yeah.
And then how many times does 4 go into 4?
4 going
One.
to 4.
Yeah.
1.
1, good. And how many times does 4 go into 1, Adya?
What?
I said Adya, how many times does 4 go into 1?
4.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, how many times does, okay, so 4 goes into 1 0 times. 4 goes into 12 how many times? Anyone can answer.
3.
3. And how many times does 4 go into 0?
0.
0 times. So basically, this girl here, Mira, she needs 21,030 marks points plus 1 more point, which is 21,031. So the closest answer to that is 22,077. The reason it's not an exact match was in the original question, this number was a harder number. I think it was something like 85,143 or something like that, which wasn't easily divided by 4. So when we changed it to something easier, and then we forgot to change it in the multiple choice. But that's how you do this question. Next question, let's see in the chat. We have question number 8. Let's take a look. Okay, this is a fun question. I like this question.
Melvin,
Yes?
for the sixth question, why did we choose fractions?
Just because it's a personal preference. I just like fractions. It doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
Okay. So question number 4. Okay, and there's actually another reason. There's actually another reason I chose fractions. Because if I were to use decimal points, the multiplication would need you to do two values. So you would need to do 84120 multiplied by 0.25, and then you have to do 2 levels of multiplication. And it's easier to do just division by one number, 8140 divided by 4. Do you understand? Yeah, got it?
Yep.
Okay. So question number 8. Hannah left home and drove for 3 hours. She stopped for lunch and then drove for another 2 hours at a rate that is 10 kilometers slower than the rate before she had lunch. If the total distance Hannah traveled is 230 kilometers, what was the rate before lunch? Awesome. So let's take a look. Now, would you guys
Can you
agree?
please speak louder?
Yeah. Would you guys all agree that distance is the same as speed multiplied by time?
Yes.
Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Not agree? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Is anyone confused? Because if you're confused, I can help you out. Anyone know why distance is equal to speed times time? Sorry, anyone not know why distance is speed times time? If you're shy, you can send it in the chat that you don't understand, and I can help you out.
I don't understand.
Okay. The reason is speed, it says, let's just take a look at the 50 kilometers per hour, right, Adya? So what that's saying is that every hour it goes 50 kilometers, right? So if someone were to ask you how long this person went in 2 hours, you know that it goes 50 kilometers every 1 hour. So every 2 hours it will be 100 kilometers. Do you understand? And basically what we did there was we took the speed, which is 50, and we multiplied by the time, which is 2, and we got the total distance he traveled, which is 100 kilometers. Do you understand? So distance is equal to speed multiplied by time. Okay. So in this question, would you guys agree that the distance they traveled before lunch, is 3 multiplied by the speed they traveled before lunch? Would you guys agree with that?
Yes.
Is there anyone confused about what I just said? All I said was that, would you agree that the distance they traveled before lunch is the time it took, which is 3 hours, multiplied by the speed they traveled at? Do you guys agree with that?
Yep.
And then would you guys agree that the distance they traveled after lunch is 2 multiplied by the speed they traveled before lunch, but minus 10 kilometers per hour? Would you guys agree to that?
Yep. Yep.
Would you guys agree that if you add up the distance before lunch, and if you add up the distance after lunch, if you add these two distances, you get 230. Would you guys agree to that?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So now that you agree to all of that, you can't change your mind. You're trapped. Okay. You've just signed a contract without knowing what you're in for. All right. I'm joking. So now that we agree to that, let's solve this algebra question. 3 multiplied by s is 3s. And 2 multiplied by s minus 10. Whenever you have a number outside of brackets, you multiply by everything in the bracket. So you do 2 multiplied by s, and you do 2 multiplied by negative 10. So 2 multiplied by s is 2s, and 2 multiplied by negative 10 is equal to negative 20. To explain that, imagine, Emma, are you on the call with us? All right, Emma's not here. What about you, Rizal? Are you here?
Yeah.
All right, Rizal, imagine you owe me $10, all right?
Yeah.
And then you owe Ella $10. How much do you owe in total?
$20.
Yeah, so 2 multiplied by 10 is negative 20.
Yeah.
Do you guys understand?
Yes.
Okay. 3s plus 2s is equal to?
5s.
5s.
5s. Good. For a second, I thought you guys found that hard. 5s minus 20 is equal to 230. Now, remember? Okay, so for those of you who are new, so we have Isabel, who's new, and who else was the other new student in the call?
Me, Razel.
Razel, you're also new?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were in Yokan. Yeah, so Razel, you're also new.
Yeah.
So 2 new students, there's 2 rules of algebra. You guys need to remember this, all right? And there's a good revision for everyone. Rule number 1, by the way, this is not something you'll learn in school. This is just made up just so you guys can learn it. So you'll never see this in a textbook, but it's a very, very good way of learning algebra. Okay? Rule number 1 is letters on one side, numbers on the other side. That's rule number 1. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, guys, I know that these questions and my handwriting is very beautiful to look at, but this is not an art installation. You're here to take notes. So don't stare at the screen. Take out your notebook and write this rule down. Right. So rule 1 is letters on one side, numbers on the other side. Okay? Sorry?
Why do you use the rule?
To solve algebra questions.
Okay.
So when you move,
Excuse me.
yes, you're excused.
If 5s minus 20 is equal to 230, would 5s equal to 250?
Maybe we'll find out.
Thank you.
When you move
Excuse
something
me.
to the other, when you move
Excuse
something
me?
to the other, well, 1 second, my good sir. When you move something to the other side, you do the opposite. So these are the 2 rules of algebra, Isabel and Rizal. Rizal, right?
Yes.
A fun way to remember it is rule 1, letters on one side, numbers on the other side, is think about when you're at the shopping mall, right? You're at Kohl's, and then you see me from a distance buying groceries. And then you see your mom and dad who are in the soap section buying some soap. And then you know that the mock exam is just completed and Melvin might know your mock exam score. Would you want me to go talk to your mom and dad?
Yes.
Yes.
Would you like to go talk to your mom and dad, Isabel? No, see, Isabel is a cool kid. The rest of you guys are nerds. You guys want me to talk to your mom and dad, but Isabel knows that she wouldn't want me to talk to her mom and dad. Why is that, Isabel?
Because like you're doing something at the shops at like a public area.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, it's awkward, that's for sure. But you just finished the mock exam, right? And your mom and dad will want to know what you got for the mock exam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if they found out, would that kind of ruin your holidays?
Yeah.
Depending on the score you got, right? Because if you didn't get a very, very high score, I'm assuming all of your moms and dads will want you guys to do extra practice and homework, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So for all of you normal kids who don't want to study during the holidays, you guys wouldn't want me to talk to your mom and dad, right?
Yeah.
So similarly, letters on one side. So you
I
move all the
would.
letters. So Melvin's on one side, and then numbers on the other side. So mom and dad on the other side. Rule number 2, when you move something to the other side, you do the opposite. So some of you guys when your mom and dad are, dropping you off and picking you up, you guys are such sweet angels, such nice kids. Oh, I'm such a good kid, mom and dad. But as soon as mom and dad leaves, dun, 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 you guys are like loud, throwing things around, throwing things in Melvin, smacking me in my head, all those sort of things. Right, Aditya?
Even when I'm in the car, I'm still a rotten devil.
Right. And then as soon as mom and dad comes, you guys become good again. So when you move something to the other side, you do the opposite. So in maths, basically, -20 becomes +20, right? Positive 230 will become -230. 2 multiplied by s will become 2 divided by 2. Multiplied by 5 will become divided by 5. Divided by 5 will become multiplied by 5. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
When you move to the other side, you do the opposite. So let's take a look. Did you guys write this down, by the way?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to rub it out.
Um,
So now we can start to solve it. Yes?
if 3, 5, and 2, 5, why if you plus
By the
those
way, sorry, this is not 5. This is my bad handwriting. It's 3s.
3s and 2s and -20, why does it make a bigger number when
Because we don't know what s stands for.
I thought you knew.
I'll show you. No, we didn't. We're solving it. That's the whole point. So -20, when you bring it to the other side, it becomes +20. So 5s is equal to 230 plus 20. Are you guys following so far?
Yes. Yes.
So 5s is equal to 250. Now 5s is the same as 5 multiplied by s, which is 250. And so when you bring 5 to the other side, it becomes 250 divided by 5, which is 50. So the speed is equal to 50 kilometers per hour. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
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 Right. Okay. Let's take a look at the next question. Okay, next we have question. Let's see. Okay, so someone asked me to do question 13 and 14, and I believe you were
Melvin.
previous class. So Kashika, just a reminder, you can only attend one of the classes, so 5 to 6 or 6 to 7, so you can't attend both. So that's a strict rule we have for everyone, because we have 2 classes so that everyone, can get a chance of having access to ask questions. Okay?
Melvin.
Yep.
Yeah. Melvin.
Yes.
Can you do questions 17, 18, and 19? Because I joined late for the other class, and
Okay,
you
yes.
are almost you are about
Yes,
finished
but
the
you-
entire thing.
Yes, Aditya. So I'm going through the list of like who sent it in the chat. So I'll go through one at a time. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm not going to go through question 13 because question 13 is very easy. You just have to add up the numbers and you divide by how many numbers there are. So it's a simple way to find averages. And you can look at the answer key. It's very, very easy maths. 14, we've already done it in this class earlier. And it's also very easy. But I'll show you, actually, we haven't done 14, but I'll show you. It's very easy. Laptop sold by A in year 2 is 1,400. Laptops sold by all the stores in year 2 is 10,340. You divide them together and you get 14%. Well, the exact answer is 13.5, and 14 is the closest one.
Can you
Right.
stay on this page because I just want to copy down what you've written?
All right. Okay, so Jal, which question would you like me to do first? I'm not going to do all of them because I want to give everyone a shot.
Could you do question 10?
10. All right, let's take a look. Question number 10. Okay. So Aryan owns a car shop and advertises all cars are 20% off next week. Since he isn't a very honest man, he raises the price this week so that when they're 20% off, they will be at the original price. How much will they raise it this week so that he can reduce the new price by 20% and sell his car to the original price? So let me start by explaining something else. So the first thing I want to teach you guys is this. So, Jal, what is 50% as a, actually, Jal, here's a better question. If you decrease something by 20%, what percentage are you paying of it?
80.
Yeah, so if you decrease something by 20%, it's the same as paying 80% of the original price. Do you guys understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
If something's decreased by 50%, how much of the original price are you paying?
Half.
50%. 50%. If something's decreased by 75%, how much of the original price are you paying? 25%, correct? Hello?
Yes.
Now, if something's increased by 20%, how much of the original price are you paying?
110.
120. If something's increased by 30%, how much of the original price are you paying?
130.
Good girl. So you guys are starting to grasp this concept. So now that you know this, let's take a look. Imagine this guy selling a car that originally cost $100 and it increases by P. We don't know what P is. It's increased by a certain thing, so we just call it P. And then it decreases by 80% again, sorry, by 20%, which is 0.8, and it becomes back to 100. Do you guys understand what's going on here? We started by 100, it increased by P, it decreased by 20%, and it goes back to the original price. Do you guys understand?
Yeah.
Which part do you not understand out there?
I don't understand the part where it decreases to 8%.
Well, so the car is decreased by 20%. So if something is decreased by 20%, what percentage of the original price are you paying?
80.
80. So that's why it's 0.8. And once you've got this written down, it's as easy as solving it. What's 100 multiplied by P?
100p.
All right, 100p multiplied by 0.8 is equal to 100. And what's 100p multiplied by 0.8, Isabel?
100p times by 0.8 is
I'll give you another way of looking at it. What's 80% of 100?
80% of 100 is 20. I mean 80.
Good girl, it's 80. So 100p multiplied by 0.8 is 80p. So 80p is equal to 100. Now 80p is the same as 80 multiplied by p Rizal, okay? So 80 multiplied by p is equal to 100. And when you bring 80, because it's multiplying, right? When you bring it to the other side, remember we said we had to do the opposite?
So dividing.
Good. So p is equal to 100 divided by 80, which is the same as 10 divided by 8, which is p is equal to what, Rizal? So 10 divided by 8. What's that?
1.25.
Awesome. P is equal to 1.25. So P is equal to 1.25. So what does that even mean? So let's take a look. Remember, when we have 120%, what is that as a decimal?
1.2.
When it's 80%, what's that as a decimal?
0.8.
100% as a decimal?
1.
So 125% is the same as?
1.25.
Awesome. So what that means is that this guy, he started off with 100, he increased it by 25%. So when you increase it by 125%, it's 1.25. And he decreased it by 20%, so 0.8. And you get to 100. Do you guys understand?
Yeah.
Awesome. Next, Neha, let's take a look. Okay, question number 17. Which of the samples used most likely corresponds to red dye in Floral Garden? So from the question, we know that both rugs contained alum. So Floral Garden has alum, Geometric Beauty has alum. Floral Garden has calcium and oxalate, so calcium and oxalate, but Geometric Beauty doesn't have calcium or oxalate. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
All good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What is alum, calcium, and oxalate?
It doesn't matter. They're just chemicals that are used in this rug. So now we know that Floral Garden has these three compounds, we can just take a look at the chart. So we need to find, if we're trying to find Floral Garden, let's take a look. To the question, if it has alum in the dye, do we say yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Now, does Floral Garden, Neha, have oxalate?
Yes.
Does it have calcium?
Yes.
And the answer is I.
Okay.
Floral Garden. Now, Geometric Beauty, does it have alum?
Yeah.
Does it have oxalate?
Yes.
Does it?
No. No. Oh, it does not.
It does not contain oxalate. Does it have calcium?
No.
So the Geometric Beauty is IV. You understand?
Yes.
Awesome. So the answer for 17 is I and IV. All right. Next we have Aditya, question number 18. Sorry, 18's here. If only samples I and V fade, the presence of which of the following most likely causes the fading? So I and IV. Now take a look. I and V, sorry.
Melvin,
What is a, yes?
I can't see your screen.
Sorry.
I can't see your screen. It only has the lower symbol on it.
I'm sorry, Aditya, that is an issue on your side on the Zoom app. I can't help you with that because I don't know, how to fix that issue. But what I'd recommend is I'll go through this question and it will be on the YouTube live. So if you click off and then go join YouTube live, you can see the explanation because it will show up there.
Okay.
So if you take a look, I and V, the only thing that they both have in common is they have both calcium and oxalate. So it doesn't matter if you have alum or not, that doesn't affect fading. It doesn't matter if you only have oxalate because I and II has oxalate, and so does V and VI. But only V and I faded. So that means that you need both of these for it to fade. So for 18, the answer is you need oxalate and calcium for it to fade. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, question number 9. Let's take a look. A square has a side of 2 centimeters. Shape B, which is a trapezoid, has a height of 6 centimeters, and a shape C rectangle has area of 10 centimeters and a height of 2 centimeters. What is the area of shape B? So if I were to draw it out, this is what it looks like. We have shape A. Actually, I'm not going to draw it up there. It's already drawn out. So shape A, this height here is 2, but so is this height here. Do you guys know why? Because it is a square.
Because all the sides
Yes.
and all the sides are the same.
Exactly. Good. So now that we know that, let's take a look at the next shape. We know that B has a height of 6. So if I were to draw it out, give me a second. And my laptop's running out of charge. I just need to plug it in. So give me a second. All right. So B, the height here is equal to 6. And finally, C has an area of 10 centimeters. So Rizal, C is a rectangle and C has a height of 2 centimeters. How do you find the area of a rectangle, Rizal?
Length times width.
Length times width. So 2 multiplied by what number gives you 10?
5.
5.
Rizal?
5.
5. Good girl. So this distance here is equal to 5. So if I were to redraw this trapezoid, we know that the top part, right? The top part is 2, the height is 6, and the bottom part is 5. And what was the area for a trapezoid? It is A plus B divided by 2 multiplied by height. So 2 plus 5 divided by 2 multiplied by 6. 2 plus 5 is what, Ella? Ella's having a nice little nap.
7.
Sorry, 2 plus 5 is?
7.
7, good girl. 7 divided by 2 is?
3.5.
Good girl. And multiplied by 6 is 21 centimeters squared. Okay? And that's how you do question number 9. Do you understand, Neil?
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
Which part, Rizal?
Yep, I
Where
understand.
it goes like the 9 plus 5.
Oh, sorry, that's not 9 plus 5. That's just my terrible handwriting. I have a horrible handwriting. So it is A plus B divided by 2 is multiplied by height. This is the equation for area of a trapezoid.
Okay.
So A is the top, B is the bottom, and then height is obviously this part here. Got it?
Yeah.
All right. Next we have Anvika, question number 4. It takes 4 friends 25 minutes to build a tree house. How long will it take in minutes for 10 friends to build the same tree house? So Anvika, 4 friends takes 25 minutes. 10 friends should take how long? 4 multiplied by 2.5 gives me 10. Right, Anvika? 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 Oh, someone sent me a very sassy message. Do you guys want me to read it out?
Yes.
Someone just sent me a message saying, maybe Melvin, it says, maybe you should try learning to write better to avoid these interruptions. Okay, thank you, ma'am. I will try to be better. Thanks for the feedback.
That's just sassy.
That's very sassy. All right. So Anvika, are you here with us? Earth to Anvika, do you copy? Over. Oh, Anvika, by the way, is joining us from the International Space Station, guys. Anvika is part of the Loyola Astronauts program. That's why it took so long for us to reach her, because as you guys all know, space is very far away and it takes several minutes for signals to reach it. So Anvika, 4 multiplied by 2.5 is 10. Do you copy? Over? Yes? Hello? Hello, can you hear us? Over? Earth to Anvika, can you hear us?
She's not in space, is she?
She is. So every year, one student gets selected to be part of the International Space Station sent through the Loyola Space Program.
Her internet is.
Yes, because it's in space. So anyways, because Anvika's in space and the signal's taking a bit of time. So do you guys all agree that 4 multiplied by 2.5 is 10?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to find the minutes, all you do is 25 multiplied by 2.5, which is 62. And am I right? Yeah, 62.5. Okay, so it takes 10 friends 62.5 minutes to do the question. All good?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
No, it's not all good. You guys need to wake up and pay attention. This is definitely wrong.
If there's more.
Isabel, can you tell me why this is wrong?
hmm,
The answer's not in any of the options.
That doesn't matter. And by the way, I'm asking Isabel.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't really know.
I'll give you a clue, Isabel. If it takes 4 friends 25 minutes to build a tree house, would it take more time or less time for 10 friends to build it?
It would take less time because there's more people.
Yeah. By the way, Sanjay Saravanan, very good job of putting a fake background to pretend like you're paying attention. You know, it doesn't work when you actually, come into focus because we can see that you're not paying attention. Sanjay?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't work if you show us your face. If you're using the
I'm
fake.
still right here.
Sorry?
I'm just a very messy background.
I see. Good. So it should take less time. So the reason is there's this thing called inverse relationship, right? Or inverse proportion. An example, my brain, proportion. So an example of this is the more you walk, the less you weigh. Do you guys understand?
Yeah. The walk looks like WALLC.
Yes, that's a new language I'm writing. It's called Melv English.
No English.
Right. And then, so similarly, the more friends you have, less time it should take. So instead of multiplying by multiply by 2.5, we should be dividing by 2.5. Dividing by 2.5. And 25 divided by 2.5 is 10 minutes. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
All right. So I've answered almost all the questions in the chat. If you guys have any more questions, send it in the chat again. So I'm going to start fresh. So I'm not going to.
Excuse me?
Yeah. You have to send in the chat if it's a question.
Oh, I just wanted to ask the answer for question 4 because he highlighted a bit of answer B.
Oh, that's
Question 4.
probably like from a previous question I was doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do you speak in chat?
So you click chat and then you type there. Oh, Emma, I love your gaming chair.
I had a question too for our homework.
I can't help with homework.
No, I'm not asking you to help for homework. I just asking, like, if you're not clear for your writing topic, can you write another story too?
Nope. You have to do it based on the writing topic.
Yeah, like just based on the writing topic. If you're not clear with the first story you wrote, can you write a second story depending on that topic?
Sure, but you need to submit only one.
Okay.
One.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Can you do question 19?
Yeah, sure. So let's take a look. Question 19. By the way, there's question 20 here. This is the old booklet. We canceled out question 20 for you guys. Based on the condition of the red dye in the textiles, the floral garden, and the geometric beauty, which samples will fade? So again, we know that only samples 1 and 5 faded from the previous question because they're the only ones that had both oxalate and calcium. So the answer is B. Got it?
Got it. Understand that.
Sorry?
I didn't get that.
Yeah, so in the previous question, question number 18, we learned that only calcium and so you need both calcium and oxalate to fade. And the only samples that have both calcium and oxalate is I and V. So the answer is I and V.
Okay.
Yep. Next, question 5 and then 11. All right, let's take a look at 5. Find out the surface area of a cylinder if its height and radius is the same as the fifth prime number. So prime numbers, if you list them out, you have 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. Okay? 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. So the 11 is the fifth prime number. So we're going to use that, and we're going to continue from there. All right. So here is the beautiful working out for this question, question number 5. If you guys want to take a quick screenshot of this, you can, because it's very beautiful. I like it. And then I'll go through it.
Who worked it out?
Audra do it?
Sorry?
Did Audra do it?
Yes, she did. Yes. Yeah.
I
Obviously,
can tell.
obviously it's not my handwriting. And as the same sassy girl who pointed out, she says, finally, thank God, we finally have some good handwriting. Thank you very much. You're crushing my self-esteem, madam. I'm gonna go home and cry now. By the way, a bunch of people are asking me who it is. Can I reveal your name? Hello? Okay, I don't think she wants me to reveal her secret name. So once you've taken a notes of this, let's go through it. So to find the area of the cylinder, you need to find the area of this top circle. You need to find the area of the bottom circle, and then imagine if this is a rectangle, because if you split a cylinder open, it becomes a rectangle. So you need to find the area of that. And then here are the equation. The area of a circle is pi r squared. We know that from the question that r is equal to 11 centimeters. So area of a circle is 3.14, which is pi, multiplied by 11 squared, which is 380.13. Now we have two circles. So circle 1 plus circle 2 is 380 plus 380, which is 760.26. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Jay, do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Now, the area of the rectangle, we know that area of the rectangle is length times width. Now, length, we already know that it is 11 centimeters. Now, the width, this distance, which is actually when you open a circle, it's the circumference. It's the area around, sorry, the length around a circle. Do you understand, Jay?
Yes.
So that, how do you find that? So that is 2 pi r. 2 pi r is the circumference of a circle, okay? So 2 stays the same, pi is 3.14, and r was 11. So 11 multiplied by 2, multiplied by 3.14, multiplied by 11 is 760.24. Do you follow?
No.
Which
Yes.
part do you not follow, guys? Which part?
How 11 times 2 pi r from there?
Okay. Yes. So I'll explain it. Let's see. I don't have a piece of paper. Do you have a piece of paper in front of you, Rizal?
Yes.
Okay. Lift it up in front of the camera. Okay. Is it a flat piece of paper? An individual piece of paper?
I have an individual. This one?
Just get a single sheet of paper for me.
I
You
don't.
tear it from your book if you can.
Yeah. I don't think it could be that neat, but
That's okay. As
I have
long as
one.
okay, awesome. Now lift it up. What shape is that, Rizal?
It's a rectangle.
It's a rectangle, right? Now, if
Yep.
you hold it that way, the other way, the vertical way. All right. Now, on the left-hand side, if you point from the top to the bottom, that's the height, correct? That's 11 centimeters, okay?
Yes.
Now, the top part is the width. Now, how do you find the width? Now, take that piece of paper, Rizal, and I want you to fold it into a circle. Like roll it. Good girl. So now what shape does this become?
Into like a cylinder?
Good girl. So do you see how the distance, look at the cylinder, did you see how the width that you initially told me at the top has now become the distance around the circle?
Oh.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
And that is called the circumference. And the circumference of a circle is 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by r. Do you understand?
Yes.
And in the question, we know that 2 is 2. We know that pi is 3.14. And then pi, r, we know that it is 11. So when you multiply that out, you get all of that. When you multiply that out, you get 760. When we add them up, you get 1520.53. Got
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't understand why you need to use pi.
Why we need to use pi? Allah, this is not a dental exam. We don't need to see your teeth. Ella was zooming her camera into her, teeth, as if we were dentists. Did you guys know that 2 of the Loyola teachers are dentists? Henry and Achut, they're both dental students. All right. So why do we use pi? Because pi, I'll tell you why. Pi is actually a number that describes a relationship between a circle and how fat a circle is. So imagine you have a circle, this is our circle. Basically, this thing called the diameter is how fat a circle is, right? Now, the fun thing about pi is that if you were to take how fat a circle is, you go around 1 time, you go around 2 times, and it goes around 3 times, and then it goes a bit. So basically, pi is how many times the distance. 1 second, I'm gonna zoom close you guys. So pi is a number that you get when you take the total distance of a circle and you divide by how big it is. And it's always, doesn't matter how big the circle is, it's always 3.1415, and it goes on forever. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's see if there's any other questions we have. Question 11. Question 11. All right. Question 11 is a fun question. This question, you just need to turn your brain off to solve it. So for everything else, I told you guys, keep your brain on. Most of you guys forget that. That's literally step number 1. Most of you guys forget to turn your brains on. But for this question, you guys have an advantage because you need to turn your brains off. Because the square here is not a magical formula or anything. It's just saying that whenever you see square, you take the left number, you add it to the right number, and you divide by 2, and you multiply by the left number again. So to give you an example, Rizal, 3 box 7 is 3 plus 7 divided by 2 multiplied by 3. You understand?
Okay, yeah.
3 plus 7 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 multiplied by 3 is?
15.
Good girl. And then 9 box 5. 9 plus 5 is?
9 plus 5 is 14.
Divided by 2?
7.
Multiplied by 9?
63.
Good. And then we're left with, basically we're left with 15 and then box and then 63. 15 box 63 is 15 plus 63 divided by 2 multiplied by 15, which is 585.
So does the box just basically mean a addition sign?
No, it doesn't mean an addition sign. Because if it was addition, 3 plus 7 is 10. So what I'm saying is in this question, you just need to turn your brain off. All it's saying is that whenever you see these two, you just do this. So whenever you see a box, you just do this. So left plus right divided by 2 multiplied by left. Do you understand?
Yep. Yes.
Last 2 questions. Question number 17. Let's take a look. We've already done 17.
Can you leave it the place where the other question was, where we just did it?
Which
So
one?
I can take note.
Which one?
The box one.
Okay, yeah. All right, so that's all the questions that you guys have sent in. So if there's no other questions, then I'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
How do you do question 6?
Okay. So let's take a look. The 6, this is the first question we did. I'm not going to go through this again. It's on the YouTube channel. It's literally the very first question we did in class today. All right. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Can you summarize 17?
I don't know how
17?
to do 1.
Yeah,
Just
so we've already done 17 twice now, but I'll show it to you again. Basically, It says 17, Floral Garden has alum, calcium, and oxalate. Geometric Beauty only has alum. So to find Floral Garden, we need to say yes to alum, yes to oxalate, and yes to calcium. So Floral Garden is sample I. Geometric Beauty only is yes to alum, but no to oxalate and no to calcium. So that's why sample Geometry Beauty is sample 4. Okay?
Okay.
All right, see you later. You guys all good? Did you guys understand?
Yes.
All right, catch you guys later.
No,
Bye-bye.
I don't understand.
Which part?
Everything.
Everything?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I can't explain everything.
Okay, it's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You don't understand anything? Hello? Okay, I think he just left. I think he was the same student who was just blowing into the microphone to prank to annoy everyone else. So if he does that next week, I'll just talk to him again. Yeah. Oh, lol. Who's called Skibby Dibbity?
I think he was the one who was doing it.
Who's that?
I don't know.
No, I
He-
don't know what.
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah. What's your name? Hello?
It just says that.
Hello? But yeah, Isabel, Adia, Emma, Risley, you guys can go later. You guys can go. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Who are you? Hello?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you for algebra, do you just fit with like if it's a number and if you're doing it with the I don't know how to explain. Like, do you just teach like the whole subject algebra, or do you like mix it in with other math questions?
We mix it in with the other math questions.
Okay.